Is Escape Triassic Hall real? The gaming creepypasta that came to life. The supposedly long-lost dinosaur horror game Escape Triassic Hall has been unearthed, and it's downright terrifying. The internet is a goldmine of mysteries, with lost media being a common fascination for gamers. Sites like Unseen64, Did You Know Gaming, and the Lost Media Wiki are filled with forgotten games, leaving people to question whether they ever existed in the first place. Much like paleontologists hunting for the bones of extinct beasts, lost media enthusiasts tirelessly dig through digital archives, dusty disks, and rabbit holes deep enough to belong and journey to the center of the Earth, hoping for that next big discovery. Now the search for Escape Triassic Hall has become an unusual curiosity, with gamers left to ponder whether a copy of this elusive horror game exists.
Eyewitness Dinosaur Hunter had a spin-off in Eyewitness Virtual Reality EarthQuest, featuring similar graphics and gameplay.
For many, educational video games were a core part of growing up and a staple of every school computer lab in the 90s. Classics like the Carmen Sandiego series, Mavis Beacon Teaches Typing, and anything by Humongous Entertainment hold a special place in many gamers' hearts. However, in August 2024, a Reddit thread on /creepy gaming by user Dinosaur Game Hunter brought up a far less fondly remembered game. According to the post, the game was an educational dinosaur adventure, where players had to escape a museum with exhibits that came to life and stalked them. The original poster described the game's nightmarish death screens, creepy enemies, and bizarre glitches in haunting detail. After some suspected titles, like 3D Dinosaur Adventure, Eyewitness Dinosaur Hunter, Dinosaur Safari, DinoSource, and Are You Afraid of the Dark? The tale of Orpheo's curse were assumed to be the culprit. It wasn't long before someone allegedly uncovered the game, unleashing a wave of newfound prehistoric terror across the internet. In the video, Hawks explains how a few Google searches and some internet archaeology led him to discover that Escape Triassic Hall was developed by Gamenetic, a now-defunct company. According to Hawks' research, the adventure puzzle game was released in limited quantities before the publisher went bankrupt, with only a few thousand copies ever made and played. Hawks then dives into the eerie world of Gamenetic's title, showing off disturbing dinosaur designs, game-breaking glitches, and a strange, hairy creature that one of the game's developers had pointed out. Audiences were captivated by the pixelated submarine rides, the unnerving sounds of a dying Carnotaurus, and the sense that they might never get to experience the game firsthand, making Escape Triassic Hall a truly bone-chilling experience. Nostalgic gamers couldn't get enough of the mysterious museum setting and scoured the internet, hoping someone had cloned the game, much like the Jurassic Park series' fictional scientists. But when Hawks claimed the hairy monster had wiped his disk and no one could find any evidence of Escape Triassic Hall beyond a soundtrack listing Hawks had posted, suspicions arose and something began to stink like a rotten pterodactyl egg. If Escape Triassic Hall sounds like Catastrophe Crow, Shipwrecked 64, or Sonic.exe, that's because it is. For those who read the comments, Hawks eventually revealed that the game was a work of unfiction, and the video was nothing more than a clever piece of internet showmanship. While some were disappointed and others took it as a reminder of the importance of fact-checking, Sagan was praised for his creativity in crafting the dinosaur horror game people always wanted but never had.
There are no fossilized bones about it. Escape Triassic Hall never existed beyond the story Sagan Hawks crafted, much like Petscop before it. Yet, the fact that so many people believed in Sagan's game and wanted it to be real reveals something fascinating. In a gaming landscape constantly craving new indie horror concepts and drenched in nostalgia, Escape Triassic Hall stood out for its unique spin on the genre, while also tapping into the nostalgia fans have for dinosaur games. What made it resonate more than titles like Baldi's Basics in Education and Learning, The Theater, or the infamous haunted Pokemon game tied to Lavender Town lies in its combination of nostalgic elements and unsettling horror. Understanding what made Escape Triassic Hall, so spine-tingling and nostalgic, could be a vital first step toward making a similar game a reality. In the 90s, dinosaurs were enjoying their biggest heyday in over 65 million years, thanks largely to the success of the Jurassic Park movies. Dinosaur-themed games were everywhere, particularly educational ones that sought to capitalize on children's fascination. What made Escape, Triassic Hall so believable and nostalgic was how perfectly it mirrored that era, blending elements from the most popular titles in the genre. The dark atmospheric setting of Triassic Hall and its roaming dinosaurs evoke Eyewitness Dinosaur Hunter, a game where players resurrect fossils in a magical museum. The Activity Center, in Escape, Triassic Hall echoed the mini-games in 3D Dinosaur Adventure, which came with a pair of 3D glasses for added immersion. And the visual style was reminiscent of Dinosaur Safari, where players use time travel to photograph prehistoric creatures. For Hawks, blending these elements into one cohesive, fake game wasn't difficult. Since dinosaur games were everywhere in the 90s, it was easy to confuse them. Yet it took creativity to turn the 90s dinosaur craze into a unique horror experience, without merely homaging games like Dino Crisis or Turok, Dinosaur Hunter. Horror games like Catastrophe Crow or Five Nights at Freddy's succeed because they skillfully mix terror and nostalgia, and Escape, Triassic Hall followed that formula. A masterful horror creator taps into childhood fears, making them terrifying again. Many people experience vivid memories of being scared by a game, whether due to intentional design or an unexpected glitch. Over time, nostalgia can make those experiences seem scarier than they were. Hawks played on this phenomenon perfectly. People want to be frightened when they hear "creepy dinosaur game," and are eager to believe that a title like Eyewitness Dinosaur Hunter might have accidentally taken things too far to entertain young gamers. At its core, Escape, Triassic Hall's brilliance came from the fact that it preyed on the deep-seated fears and morbid curiosity of the audience's inner children, frozen in terror as an uncanny 3D dinosaur charged toward them from a computer monitor. Perhaps more than other fictional horror titles like Pets Cop, Vermis Malum, or Valle Verde, fans want Escape, Triassic Hall to become a playable experience. Sagan Hawk's fictional creation strikes the perfect balance of novelty and pure gaming nostalgia, capturing a specific place and time that feels largely untapped in today's gaming trends. Titles like Sonic.exe and The Theater have shown how common it is for unfiction to be adapted into real games by passionate fans. With the right talent and Sagan Hawk's vision to guide them, gamers may finally experience the gruesome night at the museum they never knew they wanted. There's a certain irony in Escape, Triassic Hall, as it evokes many types of horror, but perhaps its most powerful is the fear of loss. Like the dinosaurs it supposedly brought back to life, the worry that this lost game might go extinct was very real for many. People feared that Escape, Triassic Hall would disappear, never to be experienced again, as it became swallowed by the shadows of time without archival efforts. Despite Hawk's dinosaur game never actually existing, this fear is heart-wrenching. Escape, Triassic Hall represents one of the most innovative concepts for a horror game in a long time, and the idea of it slipping through the cracks feels like losing a ghostly piece of gaming history. The opportunity to bring it to life is there, the pieces are in place, and like the scattered bones of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, all it needs is someone with the patience and passion to put it together.